Jim, we have another question for the late night drive-thru. This one is from Dan Titus. What are some of the mistakes that a wrestler may make during a match that are likely to put Vince McMahon into a Jim at Dairy Queen type of rage?
I remember one of his pet peeves, believe it or not, when guys will get backed up into the corner. And so their backs to the turnbuckle, and the guy that's beating him up starts choking them with both hands around the neck, right? And you'll see guys hold on to the top rope while they're being choked. That used to drive Vince absolutely insane. He'd say he'd be holding on to his wrist. He'd be trying to pull his hands off. So that's actually in some seminars and some classes in OVW. When I'd catch the guys doing that, I'd have to say, look, I don't care if you get to be goddamn, Carl Gotch. If you do this in front of Vince, he's going to probably fire you. So that was his biggest pet peeve. There were certain things, and he would get on the kick for a while where he would notice certain things, and it'd be certain things that weren't big deals, but it was everybody in the match was doing them, and it was just getting stale. And he would be against that then for however long it took for him to find the next thing. But the being choked without grabbing the guy's wrist for whatever reason was just what sent him into fucking epileptic seizures.
Did you ever experience his thoughts on, I've heard it said that he would get mad if someone was getting punches thrown at them and they weren't trying to block the punches, which is something he eventually did when he did start wrestling.
Well, yeah, and see, that would be one of the rotating, the choking in the corner is evergreen, but that would be one of the rotating things, because he'd notice, well, they're not trying to, if it was real, they'd be trying to block the punches. And of course, if you really try to block the punches, then it throws everybody off and you increase the risk of potatoes. But there is a way where you can try to look like you're covering up or turn away or whatever and still give guys openings. And we used to teach that actually also in Rip Rogers. He'd back a guy in a corner and he'd hit him in the gut. The guy grabs his stomach. And then he'd hit him in the chin. And as the guy reaches up to grab his chin, that's when he'll boot him in the gut. So he can bend over and his hands are in front of him. So then he can grab the guy in a headlock and hit him in the chin. Oh, and the guy sells the chin and his head's back again, which exposes him to be fucking grabbed around the waist. So just different ways of doing it. But that was one of the rotating things that Vince would get upset about is not covering up or just the stuff that's so repetitious with the foot to the face. He at one point went on that kick also. How many goddamn kicks to the face are we going to see?
Any promo pet peeves?
Well, besides the word wrestling, and he hates the mentions of, like, that's why you can't say belt. He always hated that, or drop the strap. And he didn't want the guy when he's going for the belt to fucking make the motion with his hands across his waist. Like, I'm going to have that. That fucking sent him into fucking sodomizing, pet rabbits with rusty fishing knives mood also.